Dreidel's a little rescue dog who came from far away. And now I'm pleased to tell you he's finally home to stay. Oh, Dreidel, 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 oh, you we love to cradle. Oh, Dreidel, 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 you're exactly right, Frosty. You're our Shayna Madel. And don't say anything. I know Shayna Madel means pretty girl, but who cares? I agree. So, what's with a greyhound hat? Well, this is a tribute to all my beloved greyhounds. Milo, Frosting, and Irving. Oh, and Irvina, you're named after Irving. Nice! Exactly right, Frosty. You're named after Frosting. So, do you want to hear some stories? Yeah! Okay then. Once upon a time, title. Oh, right. This is called A Little Dog. Once upon a time, there was a little dog who had a terrible accident. Her back was broken and she couldn't walk anymore. Oh, no. Oh, yes. And she was taken to the vet's office for the eternal sleep. But this little dog knew something was up and she wanted to live. So somehow she managed to jump off the table and scoot down the hall. An angel saw her and said, nobody is going to kill this little dog. And so she took the little dog home and she named her Moxie because that word means courage. Now, the angel had many rescue dogs, and she wanted to find a forever home for Moxie. Hot diggity dog. Yeah. So a few months later, another woman named Eve was very sad. Her beautiful greyhound Frosting had died. Exactly right, Frosty. Your namesake. But through her tears, she saw a picture of Moxie and fell in love with her sweet face. And so she decided she would go ahead and adopt Moxie, a ditto hot diggity dog. Yeah. But then all Eve's friends said, you don't know what you're doing. You're still in mourning and grief. How are you going to take care of a paralyzed dog? And Eve began to think that maybe she wouldn't adopt Moxie. Oh no! Oh yes. But then another friend said, God works in mysterious ways. And even though Eve wasn't sure she believed in God, she decided she would go ahead and adopt Moxie anyway. Hot diggity dog! So Moxie came into Eve's life. Now the very first night she had Moxie, Eve had a dream. She dreamt she had to move unexpectedly. Little did she know that this dream was prophetic, and in just a few months' time she was going to have to leave her home in Provincetown, Massachusetts. And guess where she ended up? New York? Yes, but partially right. Exactly right, Frosty. She ended up in New York and Ocean Grove, New Jersey. And in the dream, Eve couldn't find her beloved Frosting, and she was frantic. Frosting, Frosting, where are you? Frosting, where are you? Where are you? Please, Frosting. Suddenly, Frosting appeared, and he began running towards her, and he jumped up on her, and he threw his arms around her, and he began hugging and kissing her. as only a dog can do in a dream. At that moment, Eve woke up, and little Moxie was sound asleep in her arms. And Eve knew that somehow Frosting had sent Moxie to her to love and to cherish. And to this day, if you go to the beach at sunrise, you can see Moxie in her little wheelchair, walking along the water's edge with Eve. So sweet! Thank you, Frosty. Thank you, Irvina. You want to hear another story? Yeah. Okay then. Once upon a time. Title right. This is called The Shiny, or Not So Shiny, New, Magnificent, ... Once upon a time, there was a young girl who really wanted a bicycle. So her father bought her a shiny, new, magnificent Schwinn bicycle. A Schwinn is like getting a Cadillac. Betcha. And the young girl was so thrilled. So off she went to her best friend's house, excited as she could be. Together they would figure out how to ride the bicycle. Well, on the way, she bumped into this kid who was in her class. And he was kind of poor, and sometimes he would try to sell stuff, and people in the neighborhood would buy things just to help him out. That is so sweet. Yes, it is. Well, on this day, he came walking along, dragging this big, glorious dog, as filthy and dirty and unkempt as any stray dog could possibly be. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Well, the young girl could not take her eyes off the dog. And the boy saw her looking at the dog. Do you want the dog? Yeah. How much do you want for the dog? Well, I'll take the bike. Okay. So off she went with the dog, and off he rode on her shiny, new, magnificent Schwinn bicycle. But then she thought, what happens when I go home with this filthy dog and no bike? I'll pretend I went to my girlfriend's house, tied the bike outside, and wouldn't you know it, somebody stole the bicycle. That's realistic for a Schwinn. It sure is. So the young girl headed for home with this not so shiny, new, magnificent dog. So as she approached her house, she saw her father sitting on the stoop with some of his friends because it was a lovely day. What happened to the bicycle? Well, I went to my... And she could feel her face getting hotter and hotter and redder. I traded it in for this dog. My father gazed at her with this beautiful, compassionate smile. Well, the bike would never love you. What a wise daddy. Yes. And now the young girl is no longer a young girl, and the dog she has now is her 18th rescue dog. And guess what? She's going to rescue her 19th dog? Possibly and probably. Exactly right, Frosty. She never did learn how to ride a bicycle. Hot diggity dog, I like that story. Thank you. Frosty, thank you. Irvina. I have another story about love. You want to hear it? Yeah. Okay then. Once upon a time, yes, I always forget. Okay, this is called the tiny dog named Jojo and his nicknames. Once upon a time, there was a tiny old dog who was blind and deaf. Oh no! Oh, yes. Well, he didn't even weigh 5 pounds. And through a strange set of circumstances, he went from a kill shelter to Eve's home. Hot diggity dog! Well, before Eve adopted this tiny dog, she was told he was a little love bucket. Some love bucket. This tiny dog bit Eve every time she tried to touch him. Ouch! Don't say that again. Ouch! Silly. Well, the tiny dog's name was Jojo, but because he was deaf and couldn't hear when his name was being called, Eve nicknamed him Jaws. That's because the tiny dog never broke Eve's skin when he bit her, just the blood vessels beneath her skin. For a tiny dog, he had some powerful jaws. Eve even tried holding salami in her hands before picking him up. But all the tiny dog did was grab the meat and then bite Eve even harder. Why did she even touch Jojo? Well, Eve had to pick him up and take him down a flight of stairs to go out because he was blind and Eve didn't want him to fall down the stairs and hurt himself. Well, Eve had some colorful rainbow hands with many, many black and blue and red and purple and yellow and green sore spots. Unusual. Yes, quite vibrant and flamboyant. Eve also took Jojo to an enclosed dog run where he could wander safely, sniffing everything, and well, he seemed to enjoy that. And sounds like Eve is a saint. Hardly. She just did what had to be done. But then one day, she went to pick up the tiny dog when it was time to leave the dog run, anticipating another bite. But the tiny dog wagged his tail and licked her hand. And on that day, Eve nicknamed him, can you guess? Sweets? Well, Eve had a cat named Sweets. Exactly right, Frosty. Eve nicknamed him her Helen Keller dog because on that day, this tiny old blind and deaf dog understood that touch meant love. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you. And thank you. So, what's Dreidel's story? Well, Dreidel's a senior rescue adopted during Hanukkah, thus the name Dreidel. Found wandering in the streets of New York, ended up in a kill shelter, got rescued, then adopted, and the rest, as they say, is herstory. A ditto, hot diggity dog. And, Frosting story? Yes, Frosting, your namesake, Frosting. Well, Frosting had 3 homes before he found his forever home with Eve. Why? Exactly right, Frosty. They were just waiting for each other. It was a match made in heaven. You want to hear a song about him? Yeah. Okay then. I'm Frosty the Beach Man, and I'm the happiest dog in town. And I love to play, and I love to clown, and you'll never see me frown. 'Cause I'm Frosting the Beach Man with my grateful greyhound grin. 'Cause now I'll never have to race to win. Greyhound racing is a sin. I'm Frosting the Beach Man and on my face I wear a smile. 'Cause I never have to run that mile, and I'll strut around in style. I'm Frosting the Beach Man, and I love to dunk in the bay. Hey Mom, look at me, I'm joyous and gay, 'cause now I have some say. I'm Frosty the Beach Man, and I dig big holes in the sand, and I make people laugh and they clap their hands, 'cause I'm frosting the Greyhound Beach Man. Thank you. Thank you, Frosty. Thank you, Nina. Oh, you want to know Irving's story, your namesake, Nina. Well, did you say Frosty or did you say Irving? Okay, Irving's story. Some say Irving was a poet, but lacking opposable thumbs, he was never able to write his poems down. But I have a song about him. Wanna hear it? Yeah! Okay then. Mine eyes have seen the coming of my little Irving glory, all the way from Illinois, but that's another story. He's a Greyhound pup, a very rare breed, 'cause I usually kill them for greed, but Irving glory, he was freed. Irving for my father glory, Irving for my father glory. He has the cutest face, and he'll never have to race. Greyhound racing is a disgrace. The Greyhound Underground Railroad brought Irving glory to me, all the way from Illinois to Provincetown by the sea. To all the great folks who are part of this journey with gifts and glory and glee, from the bottom of my heart I thank thee. My little Irving glory was the kid I never had, but starting at senior citizen age, dear dog, I must be mad. I thought the pup would keep me young with running and frolicking and fun, but it's more like stepping in a large pile of dung. He broke my finger with his leash and runs all over the beach, chasing gulls and ducks and fish. Oh, he's a real peach. But he's the happiest dog I ever did see. He certainly has a joie de vivre, but what a wacko dog is he. At night he puts his head on my pillow and sleeps right next to me, and I forgive the fact that all day long he has made me a crazed lady. Some of my friends say, give him away. Would you give your kids away, I say? He's my childhood, or bad, or gay. Take it away, Irvina. Irving, for your father glory. Irving, for your father glory. He has the cutest face, and he'll never have to race. Greyhound racing is a disgrace. Your turn, Frosty. Oh, that was excellent, Frosty, but I really need to cut you off, but you know what? It's really time for us to go. Say good night, Dreidel. Good night, Dreidel. What a sweet, intelligent dog. Yeah. So, how much is that doggy in the shelter? The one with the raggedy tail. You ain't nothing but a greyhound, just laughing all the while. You ain't never caught a rabbit, so you are a friend of mine. That's all, folks. And a hot diggity dog. Ruff, 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 ruff. Exactly right, Frosty. I never thought of that before. God spelled backwards.